And now back to Open Mic Friday with Mike Spence and Butter.
Back, Open Mic Fridays. I've got Dr. Brad Chu, Sutter Amador Hospital here with me. I had to pull Jody Bateser, the winner of the drawing, during the break. I barely got her name out of Butter's mouth there. I have to remember who won each week so that we can deliver that. We've had a lot of fun over the years. Last year we went up, we hooked up skiing up there at Kirkwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What happened to our snow this year?
Yeah, it started out good, but
I mean, last year, that trip, you had an avalanche. You drove your truck into an avalanche on the way up, which was a good sign. There was so much snow on the spur. And then we got, snowed in up there for an extra day. It was a lot of, the wives were back home with power outages. And, oh, my God, we were at the Kirkwood Inn talking on the cell phone. They were trying to get the generator started. And I shouldn't say this on the air, probably.
They're probably not watching.
We were having a beer at the Kirkwood Inn, kind of laughing and giggling about the whole thing. But they were stuck at home with the power outage, and we were up there skiing. There was so much snow, if you recall. We had to take our skis off at the base and actually walk the last 100 yards to get to the lifts. Remember how deep? Yeah. I've never seen it that deep. Yeah, right. That was amazing. And then to have a season like this, just remarkable. I'm going up this weekend to Pyramid Peak. Alden, my son Alden's going to be competing up there for Sierra Nevada College. He just took a second place out in Colorado last weekend. He's been flipping and twisting, in the air.
Right, yeah.
And, we're going to go up there and see if there's some better snow. But I know you've raised your family here in Amador County, and you have two incredible, academically motivated kids, Kyle and Krista. And Krista is in Tori, my daughter's class, and she really sets the bar in terms of that. How do you get to 4.5? And Tori's always like, well, Krista did it. Really, I can do it. And, it really has motivated her. And you've been very successful at raising your kids here in Amador County. And, two great kids. And, they're going to be, Kyle just got accepted to college. And
right, yeah, got an acceptance to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. So excited about that.
Have you given much thought to what your second job is going to be?
Yeah, right. I know.
It's taken an awful lot to
I'm ready to retire,
4 years of college and then another one starts. I mean, it's just like you're going to have both of them in there at the same time. You and Vicki are going to have to be working around the clock.
That's the downside of having academic kids. They're going to want to go to good colleges and they cost lots of money. So.
Exactly. Cal Poly, I'm sure Kyle's going to do great down there.
Yeah, he's really excited. It's a really nice campus when we visited.
It must be pretty gratifying to have your kids. I know it is for me to have moved to Amador County and see them doing so well in the school system, and growing up in a safe environment, and here in Amador County, being up country, and it's just a great thing to see.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get up and ski some more at some point. We'll wait till the snow really starts coming down until we get about 15 feet again.
It better happen soon.
That was a lot of fun. You were pretty humble in the first part of our show, Dr. Brad. You didn't mention that you were chief of staff over at Sutter Amador Hospital, which is quite a responsibility comes with that. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what that entails, and the surgical type of things that are going on. You're managing the entire staff of the hospital. That must be a whole different thing for you.
Yeah, it's a moment of weakness, I guess.
Yeah, you volunteer and you raise your hand.
But in reality, it's a.
You were never in the Army, so you never learned.
Turn the other way when they ask, right? Yeah. No, but it's an honor. I mean, it is a lot of responsibility. Me and the rest of the executive committee are kind of in charge of making sure that the medical aspects of the hospital are running appropriately, making sure that the medical staff is living up to quality standards and such. I mean, the main goal is to just make sure that the patients of our community are getting quality, safe care.
Right.
So it's a lot of work, but it's really an honor. So I'm pretty fortunate to be able to serve in that role. You mentioned the surgical stuff going on at the hospital. Just as of February 1st, the hospital is contracted with a group of surgeons out of Sacramento who will now provide 24-hour coverage for the emergency room, and therefore take care of all the patients who need surgery at our facility. Previously it was a little haphazard. There were several surgeons from different areas that were covering the ER. So it was sometimes difficult, for them to be able to provide, prompt enough service. So the hospital, like I say, contracted with this group, and it should really improve surgical services.
Does that change your hours that you put into the hospital? You must be putting in a lot more hours with that
chief of staff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah. Which is okay. I've cut back some of the emergency room hours, and allows me to do more of this stuff.
More of the hospital things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, every time you think of an emergency room at a hospital, you never know how much you're going to use it. But with the minute we moved to Amador County, Tori cut her hand on my daughter on it was a new granite, real shiny, slippery granite, and a Pyrex bowl slipped when she was washing a dish in the sink, and it just snapped and just cut her hand wide open. And we rushed to the hospital and tried, one of us was holding her hand, stop the bleeding, and we had no idea how long it was going to take us to get there because we're so far up country.
Right, yeah.
We're thinking, oh my God.
Path, yeah.
I had her there in about 18 minutes, it was really an amazing, it was all downhill. And
no cops watching.
I got her down there very quickly, and we realized, how important that emergency room service is. But it can be something like that, or something like the blood got something critically serious, and having a good hospital nearby is really important for the community. And you would have a better sense of, what that hospital needs in terms of operation. And since you've been there for over 20 years, you must really have a good sense of, what's working and what isn't. And I think they picked the right person for the job. That's great that they're doing that.
Well, thanks. And I think we're really, benefit from the fact that Ann Platt is very responsive. And,
she's amazing. She's amazing.
She's very responsive to what the needs of the hospital are, and tries to do whatever she can to do so, to help.
Yeah, Ann is incredible. Having a wife, though, I have to ask you. I don't even have to look at my notes. The biggest question is, when you have a wife that's an anesthesiologist, does she ever say, be quiet, Brad, or I'm just going to put you under? Does she ever say that?
She may threaten it, but she couldn't do it because she doesn't have the stuff
Like
at
you're
home.
in the middle of an argument and you wake up 3 days later and you say, what happened? Vicky, get in here. She never does that,
No.
You guys get along
She's
so
wonderful.
well.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person.
Yeah, you guys have a great partnership and a wonderful family, and it's just great to see that working so well in the community. We have a minute or two left, so we're just going to keep chatting. Amador County, what do you think's going on? And you're happy with the county and being here and everything that you see around? Is there anything that you're?
Yeah, it's growing. Which is good and bad. Obviously.
Is there anything growing up country near our place? I haven't seen too much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's been pretty quiet.
Not too much.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. If they put stoplights all the way out to Sacramento, Folsom will have to take Latrobe Road and slow it down in terms of getting out there to, get anything out there at Folsom. That's a big change coming up. But I want to thank you for being on the show,
Sure. Thanks
Dr.
for
Brad.
having me. Appreciate
And when we see you out there in the community, we'll make sure we stop and give you an earful and ask you about the hospital. I'm going to get the
Please do.
cameras.
Please
I'm going to
do.
get the cameras over there to the hospital and do some special things. And I want to thank our viewers for watching Open Mic Fridays, and stay tuned for more TSPN TV programming.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.